Alright, so I'll make this pretty quick because I'm running out of time. Got here a little late. Everybody was driving so slow on the highways. In Texas, if it gets in the 30s and it's raining, people just automatically think the roads are frozen over and they're all going to die. But I did see a whole lot of accidents. But anyways, here's the setup. Got the backpack. It's amazing how much stuff you need for a 2-hour sit. Got the backpack closed because I'm kind of hot. I know I'm going to get hot walking in. Camera, tripod, gun with the action camera on top. So I got to walk about 5-ish, 600 yards. I would usually park and walk down to this stand, but I discovered a hole in a high fence right across the road here. I don't think it's big enough for deer to get out, but who knows? And it's right across from where you would park. So I'm gonna walk in and hopefully a nice deer comes out. Now the next part is I'm debating to stay out here. Now I didn't bring my tent, but I have a hammock. I don't know, I just kind of want to see if I could man up and sleep through the night, but it's supposed to be really windy tonight. It's supposed to be like 20 something knot winds. So if I don't shoot a big deer, I might go get a hotel. Time will tell. But now let's head to the blind. Well, this is something you don't have to deal with too much in Texas. I just got to the stand or the deer blind and the gosh darn zipper is frozen. Check this out. Look at that. Luckily, I got a little stove in my backpack, so I'm gonna boil some water real quick and try to hide behind this tree right here if something comes in. So you kind of see, here's this tree, and then just on the other side is the food plot, and then the feeder's right up there. So I'm gonna boil some water up, try to get in this blind. So, I'm in the stand, and I grabbed a couple SD cards, and you can make fun of me if you want, but I brought my camera or my computer out here, and it's not a small laptop, like it's a big laptop. I use it for work, I use it for editing videos, not just hunting videos, but other videos I do. But I'll let you see what we're working with here. There was a buck that came in. I kind of forget. I got a lot of videos I got to edit together. But I don't know if I said anything about this buck, but there was a buck a few weeks ago that was on a real hot doe for 3 days. And Braden calls these bucks bonus bucks because you don't have any photos and then all of a sudden they just show up out of nowhere. But I'm pretty sure he broke one brow tine off since he was last here, but I'll show you what he looks like here now. So it's the 31st. He was there last night. There's a few different deer. This is a young buck that we've decided we're not going to shoot him. And there's another picture of him. The big thing that really gives him away is the hook on his main beam here. And then his nose, man. Look how Roman that nose is. So here's the young buck we're not going to shoot. And you can see the bonus buck in the background here. And you can kind of make out the hooks on his main beam right here, right on the front. There you go. Once again, you can see the hooks there. I'll have to look through, and if I have a photo of him when I saw him the first time, I'll put it in there somewhere. But, so I was debating on staying the night. It's super cold. Either way, I'm going to be hunting this afternoon and tomorrow morning, maybe even tomorrow afternoon, knowing that that buck is hitting this feeder. I actually forgot. I saved a couple pictures on my laptop of that deer. So here's what that deer, here's some photos of that deer when I first saw it. See the same kind of nose, same hook in the main beam. So you could see for a few days, if that doe's there, that buck was on that doe. Anyways, that's it. There's a few more photos, but I just thought it would be cool so you can kind of see the comparison there. It is super cold. It's almost 5 o'clock. It's weird being in Texas. You know, it doesn't get cold enough. The steam from your breath can like block your field of vision. It's just interesting to me. Like, look at this. I know if you're from a cold place, that's not a big deal, but here it's just interesting. Another thing about Texas is it is a different cold. I used to call BS on that. People say, oh, it's a different cold. I used to be like, no, it's not. It's just cold. But my wife and I have recently started going to Colorado a lot in the past few years. We go to Colorado anywhere from about 3 to 5 times a year. And this last time I went was about a month ago. And my wife and I were sitting on the back porch of this Airbnb, and we were doing what you do in Colorado, because it's legal. And it was 24, 25 degrees. And I wasn't that cold. And here, it's like 29 right now, and I'm freezing. I mean, it is super, super cold. It feels really cold. Last October, it's so noisy out here. I keep thinking I hear stuff. Last October, I went to Pennsylvania, and it was like 18 degrees, and don't get me wrong, it was cold, but I still didn't feel as cold as I do right now. I don't know, maybe there's like a scientific reason to it, but 28, 29 degrees in Texas, it feels cold as shit. It feels really cold. But anyways, keep on hunting. I feel real confident about this spot. Reason is it's got the free feed protein there, so the deer can feed on it whenever they want. And the broadcast feeder, it's so low to the ground, the deer can get corn out of it whenever they want. So it's kind of set up as a free feed as well. But who knows? It's super cold though. I know that much. Big buck, big buck. Come on, come on. There he is. Alright, maybe I got a little excited. I just saw a big body coming through, and I thought it was a big buck. It's a big group of does. Now, I would be tempted to shoot this big doe, because this is a doe that I've nicknamed Karen. But with that big buck coming in, I'm going to let this ride out. It's cold, man. I decided not to man up. I feel like I failed myself a little bit. But it started pouring rain. It got up to 33 degrees. And when I was walking back to the truck, I just got soaked. So yeah, I said, screw it. I'm gonna go stay in the hotel. The hotel's like 15 minutes up the road, maybe 20 minutes. So didn't feel like manning up and sleeping in the hammock with the tarp over top of me. Just didn't feel like it was necessary. But so that's day one. Saw some does. Thought it was a big buck. The reason why, I have an excuse. I gotta make excuses for myself here, so I feel good about myself. The first deer I saw was a really small yearling, and the second one that I saw was a really big doe. She had her head down, and the way she had her head down, it looked like a buck following a doe. So I just immediately thought the only deer I know comparison to a doe that looks that big would be that one big buck. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But anyways, that's day one. Tomorrow morning, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That deer's gonna come in. I'm gonna eat some donuts. I have a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I'm gonna slam that. And then I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, it's a little after 9 o'clock, and it's not super windy. It's pretty quiet, so I'm trying to talk as quiet as I can. I had a buck come in, little buck come in about 8 o'clock. Kind of surprised, not as much activity. I really expected to see a lot of deer with it being so cold. I figured they'd be up and moving. And I really thought this spot would be good just because it's a free choice feed for both the corn and the protein. The food plot's under 6 to 8 inches of snow. So, I don't know, maybe the deer will start moving. Maybe the deer will start moving a little later in the day. Maybe they're a little bit in shock because we just don't get this kind of weather in Texas. Last time it snowed, like really snowed, I mean, I don't even remember. It's well over 10 years ago. Probably even longer than that. I think it was like 2008 or something. I'd have to look and see. And then there was a heavy ice storm in 2013, which was kind of cool. I got stuck out at my old lease. I wish I was doing videos then, because it would have been a cool video. But that was a cool hunt. I got stuck out at my lease, and when I say stuck, I mean literally had a two-wheel drive. I was stuck. I couldn't leave for 3 days until everything finally started melting. But I shot a really nice buck that day, and hoping that'll happen again. I don't know how long I'm gonna sit in the stand. It's actually starting to get kind of windy. I'm hoping the deer. I think I said this a second ago, but I'm thinking with all the snow, maybe the deer are a little bit in shock or something. I really thought they'd be moving a lot, but maybe they'll start moving as the day warms up. But I don't know. I don't know how long I'm gonna sit here. I don't really have a solid game plan for today, just because, you know, we just don't get weather like this in Texas. So my game plan is to sit here for as long as I can, and hope the deer gods bless me with a nice deer. I felt the need to do a little recap of the day. So I got out of the stand this morning at about 11:30, and I was heading home. And if any of you watching this is married, whether you're married to your wife or husband, if you're a lady that likes to hunt, you know there's a little bit of give and take during hunting season. I told my wife I'd be home by around 3 o'clock. Last night I sent her the photo of that nice 8-point. And when I was headed home, she told me to turn around and sit in the stand this evening. So I was more than willing to oblige her. So I got back in the stand at about 1:30ish, I believe. When I walked in, there was a deer in the food plot, and it walked off. I didn't scare it or anything. It just kind of walked off. And I've seen 3 deer. I think I had 3 deer on camera. I don't know. We'll see. You'll see on the footage. It's right at 5 o'clock. The wind just completely stopped. It is really calm. I put some corn out in the food plot, and so I got about an hour until it's dark. I feel very confident that if there is an evening for that buck to come in, it's going to be today. All the snow has basically melted away. The wind has really died down. It's really calm. Got up to like 40 something degrees. So that's kind of where I am. And hopefully that big buck will come in.